Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson Media, and I'm joined with Mzalendo. Mzalendo, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, brother Ben.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm doing
Haba-
fine, thank you.
Habari ya siku mingi.
Niko salama.
Mhm.
Tunaendelea tu kuangalia jinsi siasa zinaendelea hapa Kenya. Mm.
Unajua siasa ya Kenya imeanza.
Siasa ya Kenya imeanza kwa sababu tumebaki na masiku chache, alafu tunaenda kwa uchaguzi ya 2027 na ndio
Eh,
naona warakati yani wanasiasa wanakimbia kila mahali ili kuuza
mm,
sera zao na kuhakikisha kuwa wamepata kura zile zinatakikana, especially hii kura ya urais. Ndio kuna moto kabisa.
kabla labda tujazungumzia
Mm.
siasa zetu za Kenya, unajua leo nilikuwa nimeona mahali
Mm.
kwamba rais wa Tanzania um, ame ameamua kutengeneza jopo maalum kuchunguza yale yaliyotokea, na pia aliomba radhi pia. Ni kama mtu ambaye alikuwa anaomba radhi na anasema kwamba alikuwa anasema pole kwa wale ambao walijeruhiwa na wale ambao wamepoteza maisha yao. We unaweza sema nini ukiangalia ya Tanzania?
Um, eh, Kwanza kabisa naomba pole sana kwa wale Watanzania wale wameathiriwa na huyu rais. eh, Hata siwezi kawa namwita rais, sidhani
Mm,
kama anatosha kuwa rais wa nchi yoyote.
mm,
Huyo mama amefanya kitendo cha kinyama kabisa kwa Wanatanzania wale tulikuwa najua ni watu wa amani na wastaarabu, but
mm,
tunawambia pole kutoka huku Kenya, na tunatumaini ya kuwa Tanzania itapata ukombozi, lakini iwezi pata ukombozi kama Madam Suluhu ndio rais wa hiyo nchi.
mm,
Watanzania wanafaa waamke na wameanza safari yao ya ukombozi ya
mm,
kidemokrasia katika hiyo nchi. Na ukae ukijua chama cha CCM kimetawala miaka nenda miaka rudi kule Tanzania.
mm,
Huyo kiongozi ameenda uchaguzi bila upinzani wowote. Wapinzani wake wale wale wa nguvu aliwaweka ndani korokoroni ili aweze kupata ile idadi ilikuwa inatakikana, na hata international community wamesema hapa hakukuwa na uchaguzi. Kitu ilinikasirisha kabisa ni wale viongozi wale vibaraka, kama kiongozi wa Kenya alimshukuru Bwana Suluhu
mm,
akihojiwa kule Al Jazeera. Niliona hiyo ni matusi kwa wale Watanzania wale wanataka ukombozi na kwa Afrika mzima. Nilifurahia sana Kagame kile alisema dhidi ya hiyo uchaguzi ya Tanzania, na viongozi wengi wale wa Afrika wale wamekashifu hiyo uongozi wa dhulma ile
mhm.
inafanyiwa huko Tanzania. Kwa hivyo pole kwa Wanatanzania, mtapata uhuru hivi karibuni. Msichoke, tieni bidii katika hii ukombozi. Kuna wale ah, mtawapoteza, lakini wale watafika katika hiyo safari wataangalia uzuri wa demokrasia ya nchi. Asante.
Okay, asante sana, na pia naona Joseph pia ameungana na sisi. Naona pale ndugu yetu, the Bible says a woman shouldn't lead a man and this is the punishment. Hey, I'm Mzalendo, nice to see you, long time. Thank you so much. Besides Arabs, women are killing Africans in Gulf. Now they are killing Africans in Africa. Okay, asante sana kwa maoni yako Joseph. Habari gani? Na kabla Joseph hajaingia, hata kwa wale mavijana ambao walikuwa walikuwa wamepeleka kotini, aliomba DPP to drop those cases, especially for those young men. So we will see what happens. Hey, Sir Alex. Asante sana Joseph, habari gani?
Good morning. It has been a long time since I met Mzalendo. I think it has been a while.
Yeah.
So I want to
Joseph, it has been a while, but I'm around. I'm around. Thank you.
it's nice to see that you're all faring well. I think I will start off with Tanzania.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate that the people lost their lives because of because of some foolish things. Because you becoming a leader of a country or you wanting power, you should not kill people because you want power. That is very unfortunate incident that happened there, and it's also very unfortunate that she has also told that the police need that they need to open investigations. How can you do investigation against yourself? So it's very unfortunate for her trying to tell us that she's going to do investigation to know how people are going to, were killed. You know the people who killed. You know the people who killed the Tanzanians who were demonstrating. It is the police. Why? How with the police doing an investigation on themselves? It's a it's shock. It's just a lame excuse for her, and it's okay. You know where she was talking at is in the National Assembly of Tanzania, where majority, I don't even say majority, that is overwhelming.
Yeah.
There is majority and there is overwhelming. You know, she has almost how many members of parliament? Only five are not from the CCM party in the
Is it
whole.
is it 5 or because like there are 275 and the only ACT Wazalendo got 2. So I think like only
I think it was 271. So I think it is 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah, I think 4. Yeah, so that is brother, you know, these things have never been heard in the whole world. That's why people are shocked with this the turnout of the events. That you can have in the 21st century where we have democracy, you can have 271 members of parliament in the National Assembly, and of course they are going to be clapping for you and cheering for you as you speak what you want to speak. Because I heard the speech and it was not great. It was a very bad speech. How can
Yeah.
you just start saying that they were trying to kuvuruga amani kwa nchi? They were not trying to vuruga amani kwa nchi. They were trying to tell you that the election that you and the body that was standing for those elections, the election body in Tanzania was conducting, it is fraud. So how are you going to come and tell us that watu walikuwa na vuruga? This lady, I think she has lost all credibility in the world. I don't think anybody can give her credibility. And I think she's backed to the corner. That's why she's going to pretend she's going to do, what is it called, investigations. Because I think she thought that the world will not know what she is. But I think the world has known what she is. Even
Yeah.
though she's going to continue serving as the president of Tanzania, people
Mhm.
already know what she is. That is the only bad problem, because she has already shown her image in the world that she is not a good leader.
All
So
right.
even whatever she can do in Tanzania, or whatever she will say or what, already the words have already convicted her of what she did. So there is nothing she will do.
Oh,
Hii yatabidi akae tu hivyo.
all right. Okay. Asante sana. Now, you know, another thing also, you know, like, first of all, she said, or like they were saying that the majority of people who came in were not from Tanzania. But now, if you look at the death toll, the young men who are missing, majority of them are Tanzanians. Then again, you would ask your borders, how safe is your borders if people can troop into your country and you don't know who they are? You know, you say that these are not Tanzania, but anyway, that is what is happening, and is also maybe he also is getting pressure from international community and rejection. Nobody like is she's being rejected. So like she's trying to clean up and at least to remain relevant in the eyes of international community and even other countries in Africa. So that is that. Now let's come to Kenya, and just in brief, Joseph and Mzalendo, because this is usually a recap of what um, has been happening during the week. I want you just to give in summary, especially Mr. Mzalendo, if you look at the tour of the president in Ukambani and the kind of politics that were there. And today I saw a video. I don't know how true it is. His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka went at Imali, where the president launched a road. It was on Wednesday, but he went there. Was it? I think he went there Thursday or Friday night. The machinery that was supposed to be doing the roads were not there. So maybe, Mzalendo, what can you say about the tour of the president and the politics that carried the day during his development tour of Ukambani?
All right. Thank you. Thank you once again, Brother Ben. And what I can say in what the president is doing, uh, like his tour is trying to create uh, some politics with the Ukambani people. And today the political ground is shifting, and
Yeah.
Kenyans need more clarity, just not propaganda in the kind of politics that President Ruto's tour. Was it just about development, or it was a calculated message to weaken Kalonzo Musyoka in his own turf? So this, you look at this in a way that the president is seeing Kalonzo Musyoka as a potential threat, and it has also emerged that it is likely that Kalonzo Musyoka will be the opposition candidate to face William Samoei Ruto in 2027. So he's trying very hard to weaken and demean Kalonzo in his own backyard. But credit to Kalonzo Musyoka
Yeah.
for being very, very consistent in his politics. I
Mhm.
think this is one of the most consistent politicians that I have seen. He's not very, very vocal, but right now, the the opposition has shifted to him. All the cameras are facing Kalonzo in the absence of Raila Odinga. So Kalonzo is emerging now from the ashes as a very strong candidate to
Mhm.
face William Ruto in 2027. How it is going to play is how the opposition leaders are going to unite and support his presidency to face William Ruto in 2027. So, what I can say about the Ukambani tour is a calculated move by the president to demean and weaken, aimed basically as weakening the influence of Kalonzo Musyoka in his own turf. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Zalendo. Today we also have Msimamo all the way from and thank you so much for coming to a recap of the week. This is Saturday morning. Maybe Joseph, in brief, if you look at the politics of Ukambani and the promises that president has made, and the money that and he's making these promises, yet the money is not going to come from the budget. Where is this money going to come from? And talking about the upinzani, especially, they do not hawana agenda. They don't know anything to do with roads. They don't know anything to do with water. They don't know anything to do with housing, and kazi yao ni Ruto must go 1 term and 2 term and Kasongo, then he says hiyo ni ujinga, sio ama si ujinga. What maybe in brief?
Yes, thank you. I think Mzalendo has spoke in depth and talked over. I think the only candidate that right now is the only person that you can check and see if he stands is the same is only Kalonzo Musyoka, because he never swears his stance. When he says he's going to support you, he's truly going to support you to the last. And I think the president knows that that Kalonzo Musyoka is a force to reckon with, and he knows if Kalonzo Musyoka is going to be the united opposition candidate, it's going to give him headaches, because Kalonzo also has a base, Brother Benson, and he does not have a small base. The base has been shown in him supporting the former right Prime Minister Raila Odinga. His base was shown that his people always back him to the last man, and he has been delivering it to Raila. So I think Ruto is also so much afraid because he's been cornered by all sides. If Kalonzo gets the vote from the Mount Kenya, as they are planning, it will be a very difficult race for Ruto. And Ruto does not want it to be a difficult race for him. He wants it to be an easy walkthrough. So he's going to try all these shenanigans of going to the Ukambani region and try to sway the likes of Akina Kalonzo. And I think it has proven that it is difficult for him because Kalonzo is not letting go. You know, I heard that they had the rumors that they are going to give Kalonzo some post there that he's going to be given. I think they were giving him a post for interior security. So I wonder, how can you take interior security and in the other side you are being told you are going to be the presidential candidate? So you see, it's a very hard decision for Ruto, because Ruto will give you the positions, but he cannot be able to give you the leeway. But I think the whole issue is not about even doing developments in Ukambani. It's all about politics, that he wants to disrupt Kamba politics. And I don't think it is easy. It is not easy. You saw the likes of Mutula Jr., who they were told that he's speaking on behalf of, that he has supported the broad-based government and he's saying 2 term. After that message was released, Mutula came back and said, who has said those no's? Because Mutula Jr. knows in Ukambani, there is one person who speaks, and he's the kingpin of Ukambani. If he says you're not going to be voted for, Mutula Jr. knows it will be a done deal for him. So I think in Ukambani, even if Ruto tried to make the inroads he's trying, it is not possible. It will not be possible. Kalonzo has locked in Ukambani region.
All right. But okay, thank you so much. I will come back to you. Msimamo, habari ya asubuhi kakangu.
Bwana, nzuri kabisa ndugu yangu, namshukuru Mungu tumeamka salama tukiwa huko upande wa jjoin, huko upande wa South Coast huko.
Okay, asante sana. Leo hii tuko na mahojiano, tunaangalia tu yale yaliyotokea katika wiki, na labda tu kwa ufupi tu unaweza kutupatia maoni yako kulingana na siasa na maendeleo yale rais alipeleka kule Ukambani.
Asante sana. Litakuwa sijafanya jambo la mbolea kama sitamsalimia ndugu yangu hapa mzalendo, maana ni muda kweli kweli. Na hii safari tumeanza na yeye tukiwa mbali, kutoka mbali mpaka sasa hivi. Bwana huyu, hongera mkuu kwa kukuona, nimependezwa sana, na maana nikatimka mbio nikaona wacha nifanye yangu, lakini nimsalimie kaka yangu mkubwa hapa mzalendo. Lakini itakuwa pia
msimamo bwana, wewe nimekuona nikasema wacha tu jamaa apatiwe. Nilikuwa na taswishi kidogo, ni yeye ama si yeye, ni yeye ama si yeye. Vile nimesikia sauti hata mimi nimesikia raha.
Ni mimi kaka. Lakini wacha nimsalimie ndugu yangu Joseph hapa na wale wengine ambao wataweza wanatufuatilia upande ule wa pili comment section na kokote kule ambako wanatufuatilia. Unajua, kwa kweli swali lako ni zuri. Swali lako ni zuri, ni kweli kapeleka kule maendeleo, lakini bado nina wasiwasi mimi kwamba mbona alikimbilia kule na anakimbilia kule mara kwa mara, anakimbilia Ukambani. Sijakataa, yeye ana haki ya kufanya hivyo, yeye yuko kwenye mamlaka na ana haki kuweza kupeleka maendeleo kokote kule katika taifa hili, lakini hili linanipa wasiwasi tangia Kalonzo, mheshimiwa Kalonzo alipoenda haswa kule Opondo Farm na kwa Kango Kajaramogi. Sasa naona ile pressure aliona pale, aliona the only way mimi ni kukimbia Ukambani, at least kufanya 1, 2, 3 hivi, tuone kama naweza kupata uungwaji mkono wa kutosha kule upande ule wa pili, nikitumia tu lugha yangu iliyonyooka na maneno matamu. Lakini tukifikiria katika masuala mazima na budget, mimi nina swali hapa linalolipa kizungumkuti kidogo, kwa sababu na imani kwa kila miradi ambayo inatengenezwa katika ile taifa basi huwa imetengewa bajeti yake mapema. Sasa hii bajeti ambayo imeweza kutengewa, imeweza kuletwa hafla hivi katika hii miradi, na shangaa ipo katika bajeti ipi ya taifa? Unaona, ama hizi pesa zinazo ambazo zinaambiwa zitawekewa katika miradi, zitawekezwa katika hiyo miradi, basi zimetengwa wapi katika bajeti ipi? Kwa sababu kila mradi ambao unafaa ufanyike, basi wana imani kwamba ni pesa ambayo ishakaliwa kwenye bajeti, ishatengewa katika hiyo miradi husika, ama tu ni yale ambayo tumezoea kwamba hapa tutaweka hiki, hapa tutaweka hivi. Unanikwaza bwana, hata kama ni wafugaji mke wangu, ondoa bwana hiyo kelele bwana.
Okay.
Kwa hiyo kaka, mimi kiukweli mimi naona ni mchecheto huu, ni mfamaji hachi kutapata hapa, kwa sababu kazi, nafasi kaipata, nafasi hii kaimesa mwenyewe, kwa sababu unapochaguliwa kama kiongozi, basi huwa unafanya kazi yako ndio inayokudhihirisha kukuregesha kwa uongozi ama kukuondoa katika uongozi. Lakini hili swala la kwamba nguo mpya, yani nguo ya zamani iliyochakaa bado unang'ang'ana nayo kuibandika viraka, unang'ang'ana nayo kuibandika viraka ukidhania kwamba itarudi mpya, basi mimi naona kwamba ni uongo huu. Kwa hiyo huyu uacha amalize yake, lakini sidhani kama atateka aswa Ukambani, kwa sababu alio pale ndio mwenye kusema, na alio pale ndio macho ya wengi sasa hivi, haswa katika hili taifa, kwa sababu tukizingatia yale ambayo yametusibu kama taifa, usalama, gharama ya maisha, unaona. So hata hii miradi anayosema kwamba ashaitengeneza kutoka na manifesto yako, kwa mfano Hustler Fund, kwa mfano hiyo Nyota, kwa mfano SHA, yani kila miradi housing, but still hii miradi tukiangalia kweli kaifanya sawa, lakini sasa ina kizungumkuti, ina maswali mengi katika mwananchi, ndani ya mwananchi, unaona. So for real, kwa kweli siasa na maendeleo kaka yapo, lakini kwa kweli kwa hali hii hainipi matumaini. Ni kwamba tujipange kama Wakenya tu peke yake, na tuone ni njia gani sahihi ambayo tutaweza kuleta uongozi ambao utakuwa na tija, uongozi ambao utahakikisha kwamba unajali sheria, lakini vile na kuheshimu katiba ya nchi. Maana tukizingatia haya yote ambayo wanazungumza, sometimes tunakuta kwamba katiba iko kivyake, wengine hawaheshimu sheria, wengine wako above the law. So katika huo mkusanyiko wote ni kwamba bado kuna hiyo gap kwamba tunahitaji kuwa na kiongozi ambaye atakuwa na tija. So bado tuko na safari ndefu. Labda niachie pale kaka yangu Benson hapa.
Okay, asante sana kaka yangu. Mimi bado ndakuomba utulie na sisi, usitoroke, kwa sababu tuna mengi ya kuzungumza. Na sasa jambo letu la pili ambapo sasa tunataka kuzungumza, kwa sababu tunaangazia zile habari ambazo zilichukua vichwa vya habari, ambapo pia watu walizungumzia sana. Sasa tunaenda kwa Bishop Charles Oginjo, ambapo alizungumza sana.
Brother Ben, kabla tuende hapo kwa Charles Onginjo kidogo,
Okay, sawa sawa.
nataka kutia maanani kile msimamo amesema. Naona amepata ukombozi kutoka kwa mahali alikuwa kitambo, na sasa tunaangalia nchi kama Wakenya, sio nchi kama wajamii, but tunaangalia nchi, nani anaweza unganisha nchi kabisa kwa njia ya haki. Na tukiangalia hao viongozi wote, then tunarudi kwa Kalonzo Musyoka. Kwa nini Kalonzo Musyoka? Kalonzo Musyoka inaonekana amekubalika na Wakenya wengi kwa sasa kuwa kiongozi wa upinzani, na anaanza kukubalika na jamii zote kuwania hii kiti ya 2027. Msimamo amesema kitu ingine hapa, ile watu wa leo yote nimekuwa nikifikiria hii mambo ya affordable housing. Tunalipia ushuru ama kodi tunatozwa katika kwa wale wanafanya kazi kwa serikali, kuna pesa ambao wanakatwa ya hii affordable housing. Na isitoshe hizi nyumba hazitoshi kwa wale wote wanakatwa hii hela, na bado hauna uhakika kuwa utapata hii nyumba. Na ukiangalia demokrasia, unajua mimi nikifanya kazi, pesa yangu ni pesa yangu, si pesa ya serikali. Unaona, kuna vitu zile zitaangusha hii serikali ya Bwana Ruto. Kitu ya kwanza, nyumba zinahitajika ndio, lakini ile mpango ile imewekwa na serikali ya kutoza ushuru kwa lazima kwa wananchi wa Kenya, wale hawana matumaini ya kupata hata hizo nyumba, ndio inaleta shida kabisa. Na hiyo ndio chanzo chanzo kuanguka kwa Bwana William Ruto in 2027 ni hizi manyumba. Watu wengi sana wanakatwa SHA, wengi wanakatwa hii pesa ya manyumba, na hii nyumba wewe ukikatwa, brother Ben, hauna uhakika, serikali ikupatii uhakika wote ya kuwa wewe utapata hii nyumba, na hakuna muda ama time frame ile hii ushuru itakatwa, na yani itasimamishwa ya kuwa wamepata pesa ya kutosha. Sasa wakati pesa za wananchi na watu wale wamekatwa, hakuna uhakika kuwa watapata hizi nyumba. Hapo kuna shida kubwa sana sana sana.
Kweli kuna maswali mengi ambapo inaulizwa sana sana ikikuja hapa kwa swala za tuseme kwamba hizi nyumba za bei nafuu. Na kuna wakati ambapo nilikuwa tu nazungumza na mtaalamu fulani kuhusu sheria kwanza, na pia hata kuhusu ununuzi, kwa sababu unajua, tuseme kwa mfano kuna wadugu zetu na madada zetu ambao hawako nchini, wako katika nchi za ughaibuni, na unapata kwamba labda wanaweza kuwa na ile nguvu ya pesa ya we call it the purchasing power. Yeah? Kumbuka yeye alipi ushuru, is not being taxed, but he has the purchasing power. There's a Kenyan who is being taxed, but he doesn't have purchasing power. But these houses are going at the market value, so which means he can buy them, or they can buy those houses. But you who is being deducted on this housing, and you don't have purchasing power, so which means you cannot sometimes get the houses. That is one. Now, when you come to accounting and balancing of the books, we know when you're balancing off your books, there's what we call credit and debit, where you debit so that you can balance your books. So when you're being deducted, especially the tax is being taken from your salary going towards the housing. And you have the purchasing power. You can still purchase that house at the market value. So when you're balancing off your books, it means you are paying it twice. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So let's say you've contributed 1.5. That is what you've been deducted. I'm not saying that is the correct value. As you've been paying the taxes and you've been taxed up to 1.5 and you get interested to buy a house at the market value, which means you're still going to buy it at that market value, whether you've contributed or not, because those are I don't know how they're doing it, but if they're going to say that, okay, you've contributed, now we're going to give you the house, that's okay. But if you're still going to buy that house at the market value, which means you will be paying double the price. So those are, if those kind of like issues can be ironed out, especially to Kenyan people to know, because like so many Kenyans are struggling to understand how it works. So they need to come out, especially from governments, and to explain to Kenyans how it works.
Ben. For me, there is no need for us to be explained much because since hii kitu imeanza ilikuwa na tashwishi na majibu yetu hatujayapata. Sawa. So it seems now ni lazima tuangalie ni jinsi gani ambavyo tutaweza kujitoa kwa hapa, kwa sababu already atushaona huyu mtu ama huyu kiongozi anasimama wapi kwa Wakenya. Alright? Now tunaweza kaa hapa Ben na ndugu zangu hapa kwamba tunaamini kwamba ifikapo 2027 kwa kweli Wakenya watafanya the right thing, kuweza kwamba watamchagua kiongozi ambaye atakuwa ni bora na kuondokana na hii hali ya bora kiongozi. Lakini tukumbuke kwamba siku zote ukimsifu baba yako ana mbio, muangalia haswa huyu Masai ambaye shuka lake liko juu, anayemfukuza baba yako, ile speed anakuja nayo. Alright? Tunaelewa kwamba the only way ya kuweza kumchagua kiongozi ni through ballot. Alright? But how are we going to secure hizi loopholes za kuacha kura zetu either zishie katika mikono ambayo si salama? For instance, nimeangalia hapa kuna mahali kwamba Ruto ule wa IBC akisema kwamba registration ya voter itafanywa online. Don't we kuona kwamba hapa kuna kizungumkuti katika hiyo hali? So tunaweza ng'ang'ana kwa kura sawa, Kalonzo ama mwingine katika United Opposition kama watakubaliana huyu ndio atakayesimama, ana uungwaji mkono the whole country. Lakini sasa huku napo kuna hizi njia za mkato ambazo tuna wasiwasi nazo kwamba huenda pengine tusipate credible election. So hili nalo tunaliweka katika fungu gani? Maana linanipa kichefuchefu mimi, msimamo sina raha haswa, na nitakuwa sijafanywa jambo ambalo litakuwa natija kwamba ni rauke niende ni organize niende ni jamii yangu twendeni bwana tukapige kura, ama nichukue kwa mfano kijiji changu twendeni tukapige kura, lakini mategemeo yetu ama matarajio yetu na mategemeo yetu yasitimie, na mwisho wa siku tupate kwamba kura ndio hivyo zimeishia mikononi kwa hawa wajanja. So how are we going to secure our votes as a country, so as tuone kwamba tunapata nafasi nzuri ya elect kiongozi ambaye anatija, na hususan hili la kusajili wapiga kura through online. Sijui kama hili mnalionaje, japo nimekukatiza katika haya mazungumzo ambayo nilipo nayo, lakini nipate angalau kuondolewa hii taka ya masikio kuhusiana hiyo statement ya Ruto kuhusiana registration ya voters through online. Don't we see kwa hatuoni kwamba hii ni loophole hii ya kuweza kutunyima ushindi wetu wa kishindo ifikapo 2027?
Asante sana, kwa sababu pia nakubaliana na wewe, kwa sababu unaangalia pia Wakenya wengi hawako na nafasi sana sana kupata huduma kupitia njia ya mtandao. Tuseme kwamba umeenda pembe za dunia, pembe za nchi, leseme pembe za Kenya, kama umeenda huko sehemu za Samburu ambao labda unaweza pata kwamba ni asilimia kidogo sana ambao wako na nafasi ama wako na elimu ya kutumia mtandao. Na ni swali, ndio nasema kwamba bado tuko na swali mingi ambazo tunauliza kulingana na zote ambazo zinatokea, lakini kwa hayo tutaisimamisha na hapo, na wacha tuendelee na mazungumzo hapa ambao tulikuwa tumeweka. Thank you so much, everyone who is watching us. If you're watching us from everywhere or anywhere, we are streaming in 2 platforms, Afrique 24 and Brother Benson Media. So if you're not subscribed to any of the channels, you can do so, so that when we are having such conversation in the morning where we do Meet the Press, we call it Meet the Press because we are doing a recap of what happened, and we are picking up the news that made the headlines. And the second one is about the bishop, especially Bishop Ogingo from Maseno, who really talked about the broad-based government, talked about especially our friends and brothers from Luo Nyanza who are celebrating of only 2 members of 2 members of their originating from their community who have been given the post in government. And also he talked about the price tag, especially of the Luo community, especially, and he reminded them that even before broad-based government, there are quite a number of men or leaders from Luo Nyanza who are in government. He quoted Oloaringo, Omamo Kaliech, and all those, he quoted them. And maybe to start with you, Mzalendo, you can maybe give your thought on what the bishop said. Was it making any sense, or he was just doing it for fame? That is what everybody's asking.
No, I think many of us have said this, but in different words. But the bishop, congratulations to the bishop, because he has the platform and he has the followers who can uh, easily follow him. So when Bishop was given this platform, I agree that whatever statements that he made are correct and factual. Uh, in regard to why are we making even noise in a government that we never even formed in the first place? Why are we making noise as a community? And yet, this is your right. You know, uh, it is the right for Mbadi, if he qualifies, to be the CS for finance. It is not a favor by President William Ruto, but the Luo community who are now supporting the broad-based government feel that this is a kind of favor that is being done to the community. And I feel that is very wrong. There is no favor that is being done to the community by William Ruto appointing. William Ruto is simply doing what we elected him to do, to support each and every community, regardless of their political stand. And this is not a favor. So I echo the sentiments of Bishop Charles Onginjo for saying what many people are not able to say, and for ensuring that uh, we stay on the right track, knowing very well that this is not a favor, but a president doing his constitutional duty. So the Luo community should know that they are in government by right, but not by privilege. All right. We know
So,
that the appointing authority ni rais wa Kenya, but wako pale kwa sababu they qualify to be in that position. And for future presidents, and this is what I say, people like me advocate for good governance. We advocate for a president who will govern the country regardless of your political affiliation. Kama wewe unapenda chama cha ODM, unapenda UDA, unapenda Wiper, kama hukupigia serikali, kama wewe ni DCP au kupigia serikali kura na UDA Ruto akapata ushindi, then Ruto anafaa kuunda serikali kulingana na uwezo wa watu wale watafanya kazi, na kuangalia wala sio kuangalia wanatoka katika jamii gani. walinipigia kura ama hawakunipigia kura. Kwa hivyo Bishop aliongea kitu mzuri sana. Hao Wajaluo wanapiga kelele mingi sana kushinda hata wale wa Kikuyu, wale wako na cabinet position zaidi ya 6, 7. Wamenyamaza. Wakalenjin wale wako kwa serikali na ni yao wamenyamaza na wako pale katika zile position zao. Na mwisho Ben, mwisho Ben, tumeangalia viongozi kadhaa. Wacha niangazie Central, wale wamepatiwa position kama hizi, position kama hiyo Wandai ako nayo, position kama hiyo Mbadi ako nayo. Hizi position mkipatiwa, mimi kama mzalendo hakuna mahali utaniona nikienda Mbadi akinipatia payslip yake, akinigawia mshahara yake, lakini tunataka uandike watu kazi. Kama jamii yako imekaa nje ya serikali vile mnasema kwa muda mrefu, then uko na wakati mzuri wa kuangalia kuna nafasi gani ziko kwa serikali, zile jamii yangu wale wana merit, na pia uangalie na ukuwe careful kabisa. Sasa zile unachagua inakuwa balanced kulingana na sheria za nchi. So sisi tunataka hao viongozi wafanye kazi kwa Wakenya, wala si kuangalia kufanya kazi katika kwa jamii ya Wajaluo. Yeye ukiambiwa, ukipatiwa kazi kama CS, fanya kazi kwa Wakenya wote bila kuangalia jamii yako. Waona?
Okay, asante sana mzalendo, na kile ambacho labda naweza sema kwamba naweza kukuunga mkono ni kwamba unajua, hata kama mmepatiwa vyeo, hata kama watu wenyu wamepatiwa vyeo, lakini kama hakuna huduma ama tuseme kwamba hakuna mabadiliko, kwa sababu tutakubaliana na wewe ama unaweza kuwa utakubaliana na mimi, lakini tangu hawa maviongozi waingie katika serikali, labda sijui kama kuna maisha ya watu ambao wamebadilika. Ni kwamba hata ukiangalia mahospitali ama tuseme kama sio hospitali, hata mabarabara, ama tuseme kwamba hata kwa hizo empowerment ambao wanafanya kuna mabadiliko. Labda hata mtu ambaye anaishi karibu na Mbadi ama anaishi karibu na Wandai,
ama ile mabadiliko naona ya kuwa wamevimba kama mimi na sura zinametameta. Ona.
So ndio mabadiliko. So what happens is this: it is, you have to demonstrate. And when economy is working, economy usually doesn't work partially. Yeah, there is no day that now the economy is going to work for only the people from Nyanza just because 2 of your leaders have been in government or have been given a position in government. No, economy will work across the board. When it works for people from Central, it will work for people from Nyanza, it will work for people from Ukambani, it will work for people from Coast. So that's how economy works. It doesn't matter who is given the position. So that is something that also we have to look at. Mr. Joseph, maybe you can weigh in your thoughts as we jump into another, and Msimamo too will weigh his thought in the same. Joseph, are you there?
Joseph inakaa yuko kazini.
Okay, ndugu yangu Msimamo, hebu wewe maoni yako kulingana na kenye kilishamwa na askofu.
Asante. Kwanza askofu aligonga ndipo, kwa sababu wale viongozi hawahudumii watu wa Nyanza peke yake, wanahudumia Wakenya wote. Mtu akipewa waziri ni waziri wa taifa, si waziri wa sehemu fulani. So hii masuala kwamba wanarudi back kwa watu wao wakisema kwamba sisi tushukuru kwa sababu rais tuonea imani sorry rais ametuonea imani, ametupa dockets 2, 3. Hizi hazitusaidii kwa sababu mwisho wa siku ataketia kitita kibindoni ni waziri. Mimi kama ni mchoma mkaa nitabaki kuchoma mkaa, na pia vile vile nitatoza ushuru. So hii masuala ya kusema kwamba labda viongozi tumepewa dockets, hii haileti shangwe. Kinacholeta shangwe ni waziri wa taifa zima. So umepewa wizara fulani ya michezo, hudumia hiyo kwa ajili ya taifa na kwa faida ya Wakenya wote, wale ambao wameunga mkono serikali na wale ambao hawakuunga mkono serikali. Lakini wewe unakuja unaniambia tushukuru tumepewa nafasi za uwaziri na sisi tumekumbukwa katika hii jamii. Fine. Lakini ndani yake wewe mwenyewe hupewi mbavu. Ni sawasawa tu huko kwa kibarua, unafanya kibarua, lakini bosi yuko pale pale, foreman yuko pale pale, ile pressure iko pale pale, na ufanye kile, unajua hujinasu, yani hujinafasi hata kama ni gwiji katika kazi hiyo husika, basi kule kwamba unaenda, kuna mtu yuko hapa na kuelekeza nini cha kufanya, kipi cha kufanya. Unaona, pia nalo ni jambo ambalo tumelishuhudia katika hii miaka mitatu kwamba si wabunge, si masiasi, si nani, hawana ile uhuru wa kuweza kufanya kile ambacho wanaona ni sahihi, zaidi ya kwamba ni wapangiwe kipi cha kufanya. Sasa hili halimfaidi mlengo ambaye ni mwananchi hapa. So kwa haya maneno ameyazungumza huyu bishop kule kwao juzi, ni maneno ambayo ni ya kweli, na siku zote msema kweli ni mpenzi wa Mungu. Hiyo ndio hali halisi, unaona. So labda pengine kwa ushauri kwa serikali, labda warudi drawing board na waelewe kwamba si ile karne ya juzi na jana kwamba unaweza fanya mambo tu ukajua tu kutafuna mwananchi ajue kumeza hapa. No, sasa hivi ukituambia kwamba hii lazima tuangalie ndipo kila mtu anaweza kuaccess, wale tuko hapa nchini na wale wako nje ya nchi kwa ajili ya hili taifa, wanaangalia kweli hii itafanya, inafanya. Je, uzuri wake kwa mwananchi na ubaya wake? So ubaya ukiwa mwingi unakuta kelele zipo. So for real, Bishop amegonga ndipo, na imani kwamba hata Bishop wengine wangefuata hili, kwa sababu in fact wao ni miongoni mwa watu ambao waliweza kuchangia katika kuweza kuileta hii serikali mamlakani. Baada ya kushinda tu, wao ndio wa kwanza kupongeza na kusema kweli hii serikali ni Mungu. Ni Mungu.
Okay.
Kama tunakumbuka katika
okay.
Wala si uchawi. So for real, namalizia tu kaka yangu kidogo tu, alafu nimalizie. So for real, Bishop huyu amefungua ukurasa wa Bishop wengine wazungumze kweli kulingana na kitabu, unaona. Uzungumza kweli hata kama ni chungu, unaona. Lakini pia ukiambiwa kweli, kubali kurekebisha. Mimi sina shaka Ruto kuwa pale kama atafanyia kazi taifa, I don't have no problem at all. Bora nione kwamba watoto wanaenda shule katika mazingira swafi, watoto tunapata huduma wa hospitali katika mazingira swafi, yani tumerahisishiwa uchumi, umekuwa rahisi, angalau ukifanya kidogo mizunguko miwili mitatu umefungamana na hela, si wakati huu ambao unafukuzana na hela, unaona. So for real, akiwa pengine na sidhani kwa muda ambao umebaki, kwa sababu muda wa miaka mitano ndio ulikuwa wa kufanya haya yote, na muda ambao umebaki itaonekana huu ni uongo tu, ni kule kupewa tonge la mkononi, usahaulishwa wa mvuleni. Asante.
Asante sana kakangu. Na Joseph, uko hapo kweli? Okay, Joseph ameenda. Maybe Mzalendo, you, I can also ask you, because like that is not the only issue that the bishop raised. The bishop also raised about the payment, whereby he talked about the people who have worked are not being paid, but there's empowerment that is going on. And this is something that we've always spoke about. Actually, you've seen how the deputy president has always been on the road to do with empowerment. The other day, the last time they were in Kasipul Kabondo, and they gave a lot of money. So that's also something that also the bishop raised, that how comes like the people who are working, genuine people who are working, are not being paid, but those who are not working, you know, and the empowerment is going on. So he also criticized that. Maybe if you can say a word or two on that.
I think that is the most ridiculous and bogus thing that is happening in the Republic of Kenya. Why I say that is, Oparanya is in charge of a ministry that is supposed to give loans to the youth for empowerment. We have a whole ministry. We have a whole youth ministry that is supposed to do all that. Now, where is this money coming from? If you ask yourself, Where is this millions that each and every politician is running up and down in the name of empowerment? But I think it's a direct bribe to the people of Kenya, and especially the youth.
Yeah.
It is a direct bribe. For once, um, you must be politically connected so that you can get this money, or you can get these things that they are offering on the ground. You must have been brought there by a politician. So these are people who are using our taxes to entice the youth in the name of empowerment. You can imagine in an area, for example, where you mentioned Kasipul, how many youths are they going to empower in that particular area? And how many women are they going to empower in that region? So the people who are being empowered are people who are politically correct, people who are associated mainly to politicians, and you can't empower everybody. So I think where the government is missing it is that this money they ought to have put it in the bank, uh, maybe equity in a certain region, so that you can go and apply for the loan, and we have a structured way of paying the money back. Now, when a president says that we have given you the money and you can pay it when you want to pay it, what kind of nonsense is that? Unaweza lipa hiyo pesa saa zile unataka, saa zile unafikiria uko na pesa unaweza lipa. Kwa hivyo hii pesa tunaweza ichukua na tukose kuilipa. So this begs the question why this money is being given. It is a bribe. It is not money that is supposed to be paid back. It is a bribe that people are being given. So, if William Ruto and the government wanted to do something for the youth, I think the most important thing that they should have done is to engage the banks, so that they put the money in the banks and the youth can go and apply and get training on whatever funds that they are going to get, how to manage it and how to pay it back. Because the banks have got the mechanism of knowing that Msimamo has borrowed so much and they can follow up, and he has left a collateral. And even if they don't have a collateral, but they have somebody who is standing in as a guarantor. But you give people random things. How many people are you going to satisfy from where I come from? Well, youths wangapi? Over 1 million youths who are jobless in my area. 1 million, and then unakuja na macherani 100. What are you telling me? And then unakuja na motorbike 20. Then you tell me that you have empowered the youths in that particular region. I mean, we are too mature for this kind of nonsense. Kenya should move forward to the best kind of leadership that we need in 2027. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me take this opportunity to thank Milife. Wao wanakula, sisi tunameza mate tu. Okay, sawa sawa. Joseph, ulikuwa umepotea kidogo, labda tu kwa ufupi tu, tumezungumzia mambo ya askofu, aliongea kuhusu mambo ya watu kupatiwa kazi, wengine wanasherekea. He talked about empowerment and the empowerment is taking place, yet the people who have rightfully worked do not get their dues, but the empowerment is taking place. So he was, so maybe in brief, before we look at the ODM celebration at 20 in Mombasa.
Yes, sorry, I had gone a bit. It's very funny. We have one of the most funny, not even funny, a comedian president. I heard him saying that anakuja kupeleka watu sijui majuu. You heard that one? Anapeleka watu majuu, and I think he said that kuna kazi sana. Alikuwa juzi sijui Qatar akatafutia watu kazi around 11,000 and then he said that hizo kampuni watu huko wataanza kuenda tu kulipwa madola huko majuu. I even wondered which madola are you talking about, because I don't know any company in this region that is paying in dollars. We have a comedian president, so the bishop really injected this character, and I really like the stand by the bishop that you cannot be telling us that mko kwa serikali, mko kwa government and you have only 4 ministers and the people who are there who are saying they are not in the government, wale wanasema walitoka kwa hii serikali ya Samoei, wanasema they have around 7 ministers. So who is in the government? Is it the people with the 4 ministers or the people with the 7 ministers? It's a bit very funny that the people who did not vote for this government, they are the ones who are speaking more than the ones who voted for it. You know, it takes me, it draws me back to the game between William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta. You heard him saying that saizi serikali ndio the president of the day became opposition and the opposition guy became the president. I think it is returning back to where it was. I think the same thing that he was saying to Uhuru Kenyatta is going back to him, because you can clearly see that the government, the people who supported this government to be in power, they have really truly dropped from it, and the people who did not support it, they are now in the government, and they are speaking, you know, see mtu wa kwa serikali, because me I don't believe when you say that you are in the government, it means that the people who are there are you. We can be having the likes of Akina Mutahi Kagwe, but that does not mean I'm in the government. That is him and his family. They are the ones who are feeling the good warmth of the government. Me, I don't know anything about the 7 CS has been in government. What are they doing for us even? You can take, for example, the person like Kabogo. Kabogo, what is he doing for Kiambu? Nothing. You go and take this Mutahi Kagwe CS. Go and take Lee Kenyanjui. There is nothing they are doing for. Even I think in Mount Kenya, most of the people are even wishing for them to be removed. Wengi wao wanaomba hata waondolewe kutoka hizi ma CSs when there is a reshuffle, because there is nothing. They are only shells of themselves. You know, in Mount Kenya, this guy is trying to make a headway for William Ruto. It will be very difficult. Awana nguvu. So the bishop was just telling people keenly and clearly, because he has also seen what William Ruto did to the Mount Kenya people. It will be done to the Lake people if they are not careful. William Ruto is not a person he's not a person you can trust, because you clearly see that the majority of the support that came from or the votes that came from the mountain region were for him. But after, you saw they fell out, and he's like he betrayed. Somehow, let's say, he betrayed them. So it's clearly said and done that William Ruto is not a person you can ink a deal with. He's a person who is going to just ataruka your deal. And I think Lake region, if they are not careful, even if they put this government into power again, inaweza kuwa hao ndio watarushwa nje ya serikali, and the people who are outside the government, they are going to be inside the government again, because I'm telling you, this country where it has reached, the only thing that you can do as a president is work with people, with all kinds of people. But if you want to have your support in one region, you'll find it very rough. But the bishop told the leaders who are trying to say that they're in the broad-based government, what they had to listen. If Ruto is clearly supporting the ODM fraternity, he's supposed to give them more CSs. I hope him to give more CSs to them, because they are clearly the ones who are putting him to power. Because if it's not for them, William Ruto could not be a president now. In 2024, he could have been taken off if it is not for ODM. So I expect him to put more CSs and give more CSs to them.
Let me ask you, because here we are looking at positions versus service delivery. If to say, fair enough, to say that you've been given more CSS, or each and every community is given CSS that they want for them to be in government, yet we don't actually feel the service delivery. So what is the importance, or ni nini sasa inakuwa watu wakikuwa huko lakini hatupati huduma?
Yeah, I want to answer you very easy. The issue is the moment that William Ruto came and said that he's not going to use, the constitution had envisaged of a place where we are going to start using technocrats in these positions. But he came and said that we don't need technocrats in this position. We can get even members of parliament who are going to work there. The moment he started that one, it meant that there is not going to be any person who is going to be brought to work who has idea of what is happening in that ministry. For example, I can give you an example. You see the likes of Duale. Duale, where has he worked as a health CS? In which caliber have we seen Duale working as a health CS? There is nowhere. You go to the Ministry of ICT. Where has Kabogo worked as a this one is also very funny. Where has Kabogo worked in places of technology and information? Where? Maybe he just had a degree in it's called communication for TV. You go to the agriculture CS. Go to the land CS. The land CS is another woman there, a very old woman, who's been told that she's the one who's supposed to run. Yeah,
she's an advocate.
Advocate. But brother, to be an advocate does not mean that you know about lands, brother. It knows you know the laws of the land, of the laws that are made for the Lands Act, but it does not mean you know about lands. So the moment we started all these shenanigans, and we brought in people who don't know even the workings of the government, you can look even the education CS. Just look at them. That is where we lost all the credibility in those guys. So even if you start saying that they are going to bring people we are supposed to have CSS who know the work they are doing, we can never have them, because these positions were given because of the support you give to the president. It's not that you are given the merit because you are able to do the work sufficiently. And that's why I'm saying it's easy. Ruto should give the ODM, because they're the ones who are backing him now, the more CSS. He's supposed even to kufuta CSS were Jubilee and I think the likes of the sort. There's nothing they're helping him with. They're supposed to be kicked off. They're not giving him political capital. They're not giving him political mileage. So what is their work initially in this government? They're supposed to be sacked, and he tries to bring ODM either MPs or ODM people who are supporting him further, because hakuna kitu anafanya bwana. So I hope in the next reshuffling, because I know there is a reshuffle, this government has reshuffled now this is the third time, so we are going to the fourth time. I've never seen a government reshuffling like the way I've seen in this government. So we are waiting and seeing. We are keeping our eyes on this one.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. For those who are watching us, this is Brother Benson Media, and we are streaming on 2 platforms. We are streaming on Afrique 24 and also Brother Benson Media. So if you are watching us in those 2 platforms and you've not subscribed in those 2, you can subscribe, so that when we go onto the internet, the YouTube will inform you or will give you notification, so that when we are having conversation like this, then you will be part of that conversation. As you all know, the platform here we are discussing about governance and the issues that are affecting our people. And today being a Saturday, we usually capture those that who are making the headlines in the news. That is according to us. We know there is quite a number that were making the headlines, but the ones we try to pick are the ones that we feel for us, that we can discuss and at least give our views as the time goes. As I say, if you are watching us in both to the channels, you can subscribe to the channel, so that when we have such like conversation, the YouTube will notify you. Now we are going to our third agenda, and our third agenda is ODM at 20. And ODM is celebrating their 20 years, ever since it was formed in 20 years. And this is coming at a time that a month ago, almost a month ago, they lost their leader, that is the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. And so much is happening, especially at the celebration, especially what we witnessed yesterday at the youth conference, especially where the leaders were speaking from different voices. There were those who were pro the government and those who were not supporting the government. So those are where we want to weigh our thoughts and say what next, especially for ODM, what next for broad-based government, and who are these who are trying to sell the party that, according to the speech that was made by Honorable Winnie Odinga, the member for Iyala, when she was given an opportunity to speak, and that is what she said, that there are group of people who are planning to sell the party, and why. So let me start with you, Mzalendo. When you look at what is happening, especially at a time when they are celebrating the 20 years of ODM being in existence, the same time they should be celebrating a man that really made that party to be in existence for 20 years, but you see all these cracks. What does this one mean, especially for ODM going forward?
I think, first of all, congratulations to my party, ODM. Do you know I'm a life member of ODM, and you never cease to be a life member of ODM. I know many of people will be like, really? As a Mzalendo, I am a life member of ODM. And
Mzalendo alitoka ODM bwana.
it is my story. Let me tell you, kuna junction tuliwachana na ODM, and na hii junction ilikuwa when they now started practicing things that I didn't like a lack of internal democracy, candidate selection and loyalty, not merit. That is what pushed people like me away from ODM. They had started this, and I felt that this is not what Raila Odinga stood for initially when we were in ODM. ODM was supposed to be the most democratic party in Kenya and the most transparent party in Kenya. And ODM was supposed to be the watchdog of the people. ODM was the party for each and everybody. So ODM was founded by the people, and ODM belongs to the people. ODM does not belong to a few individuals that you see running around. And for me, I really felt bad when I saw these men and women dressed in orange dancing in the train in the SSGR heading to Mombasa, and of course with our taxes, most of it coming from the county government, to celebrate 20 years of basically nothing. I would say that ODM has not achieved much in 20 years. ODM has not formed a government in 20 years, and they ought to think that, hey, we have been here for 20 years. There's nothing for us to celebrate. It is like we supporters of Arsenal. Every time we are told that we play in the league and we have no trophy to celebrate. Imagine the league is ending and you see Arsenal in a number 5 and they are busy jumping up and down that they have won the league, but they have not won any league. They have played all seasons. They have been on the. I mean, it is a shame. There is nothing ODM can show that. Yes, we celebrate. They are celebrating their existence in 20 years, but there is nothing that they can show that they won a trophy for the people who support them. And you know, this is coming barely 3 weeks when we arrested the mzee. I think they ought to have given it more time. Should have postponed the celebration and focused on the strategies of ODM moving forward, because one thing our viewers up there know very well, that Raila was ODM and ODM was Raila Odinga. So any way or formation of trying to emulate that icon is going to backfire. They now need to restructure, find a new face of ODM, and I feel that it is time for the young generation like Babu Owino, Olekina, Sifuna, Kibagendi, Winnie Odinga, and many, even Kasamuel can join the group, and many young progressive leaders can join. People like Amisi there. Those are
Mhm.
progressive voices that can join the movement and revitalize what Raila envisioned. Raila died with the vision and his aspiration to reach Canaan. But I believe that the dreams and the struggle still lies with Winnie Odinga, Babu Owino, Sifuna, Kibagendi. Those are the people who I feel that can rise up to the occasion and mobilize the young people to join the party. But by and large, it is time for a leadership change in this wonderful party called ODM.
All right, thank you so much. I saw Joseph was surprised to get to know today that you are a live member of ODM, and maybe he will ask you some questions about ODM.
Oh,
But
yeah, I'll be ready
yeah,
to answer.
yeah,
Mm.
Mzalendo, you say that they were supposed to at least push the celebration a little bit further. But I think it came at the right time, especially that could have given them time to what we call soul searching about the party. Since
Do you know, Ben?
yeah,
Listen, these celebrations are going to happen in the 47 counties.
yeah.
I don't know whether you know that.
I thought like Mombasa was just that the mother of all of them.
Maybe I don't know, but I think they initially it started in it was in Kakamega. I saw it somewhere. They have been moving around like that, and
Yeah,
I
there
think
was the Mombasa. I think when they were moving, Mombasa was supposed to be the
the
mother of
climax,
all of the
the
climax.
climax.
So, yeah.
Oh, so that is okay. So if Mombasa is
Mm,
the last,
mm,
I still feel that it was not the right time. I still feel that it was not the right time. I still feel that they are getting into. That's why you see they're having different views because one, there are people pulling towards the broad-based government, just like Winnie had said that there are some people in this particular party who at night they are they're trying to sell my father's party, and then daytime they are with us. This is a direct attack to those who have been in the broad-based government. There is nobody there. There's nowhere. She didn't mention names, but we know those who have been pushing very hard for people to get into the broad-based government. And just to recap, or just to remind you that and these things probably you don't know
yeah.
that in the negotiations, people like John Badi and the CSS who went into the broad-based government, Raila was very adamant on them joining. But while he was away in Dubai, these guys negotiated with William Ruto to join government, and the condition was, are you going to drag the Mzee to come? Yes, we must tell him now to join the government, and that is how they joined the broad-based government. And Baba been alive today, I can tell you, if he had decided to move out, if he had decided to support Kalonzo for the presidency, which I believe he would have done so, uh, these characters that are in government would not join Raila Odinga in supporting Kalonzo Musyoka.
Okay, thank you so much. And before I invite in Joseph, there's also something that I usually observe, especially when you look at the majority of those who have big names in ODM. These are creation of Baba. These people, Baba created them. None of them, if you look at their political history, there's nothing, majority of them, that you can attach to their political journey, that something that they stood for. Look at majority, apart from few, like somebody like Orengo, you can trace his political activism history to Nairobi University of campus. People like Nyang' Nyong'o, you can track their record. But the majority of some leaders, that they are who they are, not because there's something that they stood for, but because they were created. They grew in the umbrella of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. So that's why, like, when Baba is not around, they are very shaky. They do not have that strong foundation that can sell themselves like something that is selling them. Maybe that is just by the way. Let me come to Joseph. Joseph, you followed what happened, especially today is the day 3, but you can recap on the day 1 and the day 2. I think day 2 was so much full of activity and what we saw. What does that one have, especially when you look at the broad-based government and ODM as a party, because it has to have an impact, especially what the speeches that were made by Edwin Sifuna, Osotsi, Winnie Odinga, and Arati too. What impact?
Thank you for that question. I think ODM is going through a crisis without the leadership of Raila Amolo Odinga. It is going through crisis, which is difficult for them. I don't think they ever envisaged a point where they are going to go at it alone without Baba. And I think that's why you're seeing there is so much everybody is talking according to what they want themselves to feel good. I think what really happened with these guys is, when you become a CS, Brother Benson, there is so much of what comes with the CS position. There is prestige, there is power, and there is money. So I don't think these guys they like the broad-based government too much. It's just that they are feeling warm and cozy as the ministers of the certain cabinet slots, and that's why you hear them adamantly supporting this broad-based government, because them they are feeling very good. But do you know what about the citizens? What are they feeling? You can be feeling you have power and money, but what about the citizens that you're trying to tell these things? So I think Winnie was correct to say that they are trying to sell the party. Mm-hmm. And ODM is not a party that you can just go and take it to for sale and market it for sale. It will be a very difficult affair. So I think Winnie knows. They know. They have information of what has been going on and the dealings that have been happening. If you hear her talking like that but not mentioning the names, I think even the people. I don't know. Did you see the CSS? Were they involved in Mombasa, or they cannot go because
Joe was around?
Joho was there. I think the other guys who were supposed to be there, they were not there, because even though they are CSs, they were one-time members of ODM. No? They were supposed to be there present. So I think they know what they are doing. But the problem is, does power really lie with the CSs, or does power really lie in Okango, Kajaramogi? Where does power really lie? You can clearly tell that these guys, they don't have power. So what is remaining for them is they try to disrupt everything. They know people, and right now people are confused because they don't know the way forward. But I think also the by-elections that are going to come, after the by-elections, I think ODM is going to be settled now, because you know they are fighting two things. They are fighting the loss of Baba. No, 3. They are fighting the loss of Baba. They are fighting the celebrations of ODM marked at 20. And they are also fighting the by-elections which are coming through, which are only, I think, 1 week left. We go for the by-elections. So after by-elections, I think is when ODM will sit down and restructure its whole idea and see how they are going to go forward. But I know, as we have been talking, brother, power lies in that Okango Kajaramoga, where Raila lies. That is where power is. Power is not with these guys. These guys will talk, bro. They will talk. Who are the Akinabadis? You know, those guys, they were, you know, there's something you've said that has got me interested. Those guys, all of them, there's nobody who was not brought to the political limelight without Raila Odinga. I never knew Buddy. At the moment Buddy entered into politics, and Baba was supporting him when he brought him as a chairman of ODM. That's where you could see the fairy Buddy. The only people that I know that can be they can try to carve out their political history are the people like James Orengo, because at the moment they were coming to politics, they were like toe and toe with Raila Odinga. The only thing that happened is that Raila got the kingship of the Luo nation, and then Orengo just started supporting. You know, they were fighting for the kingship in Luo land. But the only people that I can trust that they were not a venture of Raila Odinga, we can say people like Orengo. Those ones were clearly people who are in that given pace. But the other ones, there is nobody who will tell you they have not been carved out from Raila Odinga. Even the Babu Owino and the Sifuna, all of them, those guys, all of them, they were carved out from the leadership of Raila Amolo Odinga, which was very good, because he gave those guys a platform. We gave even the likes of Akina Babu Namwamba a platform to be able to air out his views. So let them talk. You know, these guys, they want to confuse the Luo nation. That is the thing that is there, because they know. I told you I told you were telling me about what do we call them? I'm forgetting them. The
trustees.
The trustees. You know, there is 2 things that are here. There is ODM, and there is the Luo nation. These are 2 different things. One is a party, one is a region. So you can be saying you're controlling ODM, but you're not controlling the region. You can be controlling ODM, but right now you can control ODM. You have the power. You have the power to say, because maybe you are a chairperson in that party. Maybe you are a deputy chairperson in that party. Maybe you are a secretary general. You can talk with full power because you have been given that mandate now. But does the region really truly give you the respect that you deserve? Or does the region really hear to the words that you're saying? But as we check at the region and the way we are seeing things happening, brother, Mzalendo has just told you here, people have been going to Okango Kajaramogi for how long?
So many.
1 month. 1 month full, and it's still going on. So is power line off with the Buddy? Is power line on with Wandai? Is it with Wanga? They could be going to Wanga's home. Hawangekuwa naenda to a graveyard. They could be going to Wanga's home, Sifuna's home. That one could have mean they have the power. But as long as the power resides there, and I'm telling you, the ODM fraternity and the ODM leaders, not even ODM, the Luo region, will see where the power lies on, because they know. Leave the people talking with the party. Even they are not ODM members, by the way. Sifuna told them they are not ODM members. The likes of the broad-based CSS, they are not ODM members. They already relinquished their ODM membership when they became CSS. So they are not ODM members. So that is my answer to that. But as ODM is celebrating 20th, that is a very remarkable thing. I've never seen the only party that in Kenya had ruled for that long is only Kanwe. And it died, it became a shell for itself. But ODM has been a party which has withstood the test of time. I think also it has been helped by being in the opposition. You know, opposition helps you to shape up like a party. But they have been there, brother. They have been there for 20 years. We cannot wash that away. And they have been having members of parliament. Even right now, they have around 80 members of parliament. You cannot wash away a party like that. I think after the broken shell, which is UDA, I think ODM is the only party standing because UDA is already a broken shell of itself. So the only party remaining standing is only ODM. And I hope to see more. But what Mzalendo was saying, they did it in a hurry, and it was supposed to be given time. Even I think they could have done this one after the by-elections and after December. They could have done this one maybe January coming, because also we are still people are still mourning the death of the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. So I think they could have given it a chance till January. Then they say that at 20, but to Rirukisha because of the events that were happening. Because now it is at 20, but next week we are going for by-elections.
Okay, let's hopefully wait on how by-election will be. But there's something that I want you and Mzalendo to talk about and have a conversation about, because like I'm very particular about Winnie, because remember, this is the first time that Winnie was coming out, especially to speak in a public after the death and the after burying of the father. And that is one. Secondly, this is the first time that somebody speaking from Raila's family. Remember, Ruth Odinga has been speaking, Oburu has been speaking, but these are Odingas. These are from the Jaramogis. But today, Winnie is from Raila family. The first time that we are getting somebody speaking about ODM, and especially from Raila's homestead, and how close, from the look of things, how Winnie was very close with the father. So that is something that also we can weigh our thoughts. Secondly, when you listen to Winnie, especially during her speech, Winnie did not mention anything to do with broad-based government. Winnie did not mention something to do with President William Ruto. Neither did she even say that thank you to President William Ruto for giving the father state burial. And this is the thank you she did was when the father was being buried. And today, she did not mention anything about the government. So maybe to start with you, Mzalendo, what role or what message, especially Winnie was sending? First, being somebody from Raila's family. Secondly, being the first time that she's speaking to a public rally or a public gathering after the burial of the father.
I think I congratulated Winnie for the remarkable speech that she did. I had done an article about that maybe 2 weeks ago and said that Raila's family have not spoken after the death of the dad, but we have seen signals that they are not happy. They are not happy. We have seen Junior saying that Kalonzo is now the figure the figure father that is remaining. Then we saw Mama Ida saying that they will support Kalonzo for the presidency. I don't know whether you missed that. That one was also said by Mama Ida when Kalonzo visited Opoda Farm. Now, Winnie coming out, and even before I go there, Winnie has got the firepower of the father. Yeah, she has it. It is running in her, and she is also a very aggressive. The way you see conduct her politics, and she's intelligent. That is the most important thing. So when I saw Winnie speak, I knew that this is now the crack that ODM has to deal with. They have to deal with Winnie Odinga, but how are they going to deal with Winnie Odinga? And this is his father's party. His father formed this particular party, and she feels entitled, just like in our culture. She's one of the beneficiaries of the estate of Raila Amolo Odinga. So by birth, she's the daughter, and she can inherit anything that the father had. But I like the way she conducted herself, the what she talked about. She said this party was not formed in the boardrooms. This party, Odium, was not born in a boardroom, nor made in a bedroom. So its future will not be discussed through pillow talk. That is so deep. ODM was born in protest, raised in resistance. That is what Winnie said. So those statements are very weighty.
So, with those statements, and this is coming from especially Raila's family, and the person who is speaking is somebody who was very, very, very close to Raila than any other person, and she did not even mention anything that Baba said. Like everybody is saying that before Baba left, this is what Baba left us with. She did
Yeah,
not
but
even
I've dreamt about Raila Odinga
7
8 times,
times.
7 times. But oh my God!
Yani siku hizi kweli bana.
Hata mzalendo anafaa
Tena
kutuambia kile aliota.
mimi,
Mzalendo, what have you been dreaming about?
I think I've been, you know, Raila's death really hit me, but I didn't really like got. I didn't get to the point where I got too emotional. But later on, now trying to look at his legacy, and when I hear his family members speak, is when I feel that there's a big loss. This man was indeed very, very important to the family and to the country. When you see the way people are mourning,
Yeah.
when I watch what really, when I watch somebody like Gaucho mourn Raila Odinga, I saw that as a genuine cry for somebody who lost his mentor. And
Nuro Kanga.
I have not seen Gaucho. I'm talking about the people I saw mourning
Mm.
genuinely, like from the bottom of their heart. They are at a greater loss than anybody else I've seen mourning. I saw it in Gaucho. Gaucho really mourned Raila Odinga, and I felt the pain. I felt like, he can go to war for these people who are celebrating Raila's death, or people who are now jumping up and down in the name of Raila Odinga. Yet when he was alive, they never fought for him as hard as many of us did, and they kicked many of us who really loved Raila genuinely. People who loved Raila genuinely, you will know them. You will know them. People who loved Raila because of the positions that they were getting from them. You will also see them. They're the people who are running up and down. They're the people who are wailing louder than anybody else. They are not grieving for this Mzee. They are looking for the next host, who is probably William Ruto. They're looking for the next host who is going to host them, because the host that was hosting them is now dead. So they have to look for a new host. So that is what is happening in ODM. So yeah, Ben.
And you've said something that to me I see the sense that those who are rushing to even to say that okay, President William Ruto should run with
But Ben,
ODM.
look at it this way.
Yeah,
Raila dies today.
yeah.
In the afternoon, Oburu is anointed the party leader.
But that one was to me. If I look at it, especially for Oburu, it
Give
made some
me
sense.
give me the logic. The body is still in India. Give me the logic. What was
So
the hurry?
this is the logic. One, when you look at the political parties that we have, The political parties that we have, they are personification. They have persons behind them. So when you look at ODM, Raila was the face of ODM.
No, there's no logic. I don't
No,
know.
keep
What
you just.
I am telling you, I'm asking you, couldn't it wait?
But no, you are a member of ODM. Tell us what the laws are saying. You are a live member. What does the
Which
law
law?
says that?
Which law?
What does the law that govern ODM says that in case they lose the
Does
party
it,
leader?
in case, if there was a law, which I've not read, if there's a law in ODM, then the person who is supposed to inherit the leadership position are the deputies. They are the closest to
But,
the party leader.
but if you
What are
talk
you
of
talking about?
deputies, remember, if you talk about the deputies, remember also what happened was Anyang' Nyong'o was interim, was also appointed by Baba when he was running for the Yala, not Yala, but when he was running for the chairmanship of African Union, but like his appointment was not withdrawn.
Whatever it is, there's nowhere in the constitution of ODM
But
that tells you when a party leader dies, then the
no,
next
but Mzalendo, the only place that I will not agree with you, because this was something that was called by the NEC, the party organs, for that meeting.
I am saying all that whatever they are doing could have been done later. All right, they could have
But
been
still,
done later when everybody else was, in a position to reason and act accordingly. I mean, presenting Oburu Odinga as the next heir apparent, I mean, that was ridiculous.
It's not. Mzalendo, I don't agree with you. The reason why I don't agree.
For me, I think it is
No,
ridiculous.
the
That
reason.
alone,
You
I don't
know,
agree with you.
the reason why I don't agree with you is this, Mzalendo. We know, and when you look at all these political parties, when you talk of democracy of our Kenyan political parties, one thing that you have to know, these are individually owned political parties. There is no way that the party could have been given to any other body apart from people who are very close to Raila Odinga. Even if something happens to UDA today, you cannot tell me that the UDA, what President William Ruto has invested in that UDA, you just want to give it somebody that you are not very sure of.
Now
That is the logic behind it.
Let me let me tell you maybe the logic that was behind that. Uh, the party belongs to Odinga family, and the only reason why there was that mad rush was to keep the party family and the family.
Yeah, that's what we are saying.
So that can be the only logic. But any other thing that you're telling me, uh, it was to block any other internal maybe wrangles or fight to inherit
No,
the party.
no. What you have to know, apart from this political, let's give a typical example. Right now we have DCP. Who owns DCP?
DCP is that guy called Kijana. No, he's called Gashagwa.
Yes, because like Gashagwa, he has invested so much in that party. So if to say something happens, I don't think like the DCP party will just be given to any other person.
No. For me, I felt like ODM is not ready to hand over power to another generation. I felt like they should have waited. I felt like there was no hurry. There was no cracks within the party. There was no wrangles. There was nothing. People were mourning. They should have waited for a while and then we sat down and looked for the way forward, other than just coming up and inheriting what belongs to the family. I felt that was done in a hurry, and I think you will not change my position in that. It was done in a
Okay.
hurry. It should have waited for some time.
So you see the same way you're feeling. I also feel that, bearing in mind that all these political parties, they have their owners. And at that moment in time, it was only safe to be in the hands of Oburu.
How can we take it out from Oburu's hand right now?
You cannot take it out. He has already been confirmed as the party leader. How can you take it out, boy? What are you saying, boy?
I need Winnie. I need Winnie. If it is Odinga's family, then Winnie should be the party leader.
Yeah, Winnie, let me. The only way
I don't care. Winnie should be the party leader of ODM. I don't care. Everybody else can.
Oburu is holding
or James Orengo. Or James Orengo. That's it.
Oburu is holding in brief anyway. And maybe Joseph did not answer this. Let me bring in Joseph. Joseph, I was just asking Zalendo that this is the first time that we are seeing somebody from Raila Odinga's family speaking about the party, you know, and this is the first time that we are seeing also Winnie addressing a gathering like that after the death of his father. What does this one mean to ODM, especially those who might be thinking what she said or what she alleges to the broad-based government?
Thank you. I think Mzalendo talking about Winnie, it's is how he feels. I think he feels Winnie should be given the party, and everybody has his own wish in the party. You know, ODM has been contested too much. They're one of the parties that have been contested too much. So I want to talk about what you have asked me about Winnie, and I think this is her second talking to the public, because the first one would be when she was talking in the funeral of her dad. So this one will be
after the burial. After the burial.
After the burial will be the first one. And Winnie is articulate. She's very articulate, and she's showing that she can take the mantle that her dad left. And I'm very proud that she's taking it with stride. And Brother Benson, her coming to tell us what has been happening to ODM is not a secret anymore. We know what has been happening. You know what has been happening to ODM. You know that there's people who want to sell the party. It's evident. It's not now a fallacy or a hidden agenda. That there's people who are selling the party, and they want the party to be swallowed up. But there's one thing that Sifuna said yesterday that really got me. That he said that even if we are all fighting about what Raila said in the last time, where Raila had left us, or where Raila was saying this, or either broad-based or either this. The only thing that we can talk about and learn from Raila and take from where he said is that the party should remain. It should remain. I don't have the right word, but he said it was saying like something like undissolved. They should not dissolve the party. Because when they decide to dissolve the party and maybe enter into the broadcast coalition, that is where ODM will be done. It will be done and done completely. So when ODM is done, what will be the legacy of Raila Odinga? What will be his legacy if ODM is already swallowed? So I think that is something that Sifuna told the people there yesterday, and I felt it. He went down to the hearts of those who are there. But I know there is people who are trying to do business. Brother, politics is about interest and about money. It's all about money and power. And I think they are trying to gamble for the party and see if they can be able. And now the problem, even the people who are talking on behalf of the party, they are not live members of ODM right now. They have become CSs. They are not live members. So how can they detect how the party will be run? The party is run by the people who are in the party, and they are members of the party. You already forfeited your party membership when you became a CS. So the only thing you can do is just give your opinion or give your guidance. But the party is going to remain with the people who are membership in there. So I think everybody, and I knew this one will come. Brother Benson, hauwezi kuwa umeandikwa kazi na mtu alafu uanze kusema hapana, huyo mtu hapana, si mzuri, huyo mtu hapana, anatulipa vibaya, huyo mtu hata tutai kusikia. The next thing you find is a letter of dismissal.
Yeah.
Unapata umefutwa kazi asubuhi. So how do you expect Atibadi and Wandai and Oparanya and Joho are going to react? They are not going to react in another similar manner. They are going to react in let's support broad-based India to relate to. Now the problem is, I don't know what is Wanga getting from this. I think the only thing that she's getting is being told that she's going to be the deputy of a person. I think it's very dangerous.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to deputy, if I'm to advise any other political party who wants to get into coalition, the worst position in the Kenya history right now is the deputy president. That is the worst position that nobody should not go for.
That's what I was telling you. That's what I wanted to come to that point to tell you that she thinks that being a deputy is just a walk in the park, brother. It needs control. It needs control of what you are doing. I think the only issue that Gachagua did not do, the only thing Gachagua did not do was only one. Mm-hmm. He never used his brain when he was going to UDA. He never used it. Because if he could have used his brain, he could have not gone to UDA in whole heart. They could have tried to form their own party. I'm telling you 100%, if Gachagua had his own party, he could have still been the deputy till now.
Yeah, but
he could have not been removed as a deputy.
That's something that he regrets until today.
Yeah, and he was told by people, even he was told by Uhuru Kenyatta, don't try this, don't try what you are doing. He did not listen. So if Wanga is trying to pretend that she's going to go with broad-based coalition, is it called broad-based coalition? So it will be very difficult, because what I know Ruto wants, Brother Benson, Ruto wants one thing. He just wants one thing. And that one thing is he wants one party, a one-party system where ODM and UDA and all this Musalia party will be together. They will be together, and they are going to have, already Musalia party is already swallowed. ANC was swallowed.
No,
so
ANC,
now he wants.
ANC is not there.
Yeah, it was swallowed. So he wants to swallow Ford Kenya. After swallowing Ford Kenya, he's going to swallow ODM.
No,
he wants to swallow ODM as a whole.
I tell you, Wetangula cannot allow. Wetangula knows the system. Wetangula knows the political games.
No, he'll accept. What will he do, Brother Benson? If he does not accept, he will not get that position. Wetangula, how many votes did he bring for Ruto in 2027?
Over 200, but that one assisted him to come to power. Don't joke with Wetangula.
Let me tell you, brother, that one over 200 was between him and Mudavadi. They are the ones who brought over the 200 votes.
No.
Already won.
No. Check what Bungoma brought.
But now, Brother Benson, 2022, you cannot compare it to 2027. Already there is things that are happening in Western which are very hot. You see the emergence of Natembeya and Wamalwa. Things are getting hotter there and hotter every. So you cannot bank on him giving you all those votes. You cannot bank now.
Let me tell you one thing with all these politicians. These politicians, they know how sweet the power is. They will always change with the times. Let me tell you. They will. Wetangula will see Natembeya is coming and Eugene Wamalwa. He will even go to that Natembeya and say, okay, my brother, this is what
that's what I was telling you, Brother Benson. The only thing remaining for Wetangula is either he folds the party. If he's not going to fold the party, is either he goes to the united opposition, because Ruto does not see him helping him in any way. Right now, let me tell you, Brother Benson, where is the problem? Huh? Ruto, over 4 million votes have left him. Over 4 million votes have left him. So we are starting from basics. Which votes is Ruto being left with? We are starting from his basis. We are going to count votes from the Kalenjin nation, which as of last year, that election, was 3 million. Then you are going to tell me, okay, bring Wetangula with his 200. That is 3.2. So how are you going to recover the 4 million votes if you still want to become the president, it
So
means you
uh-huh.
need to bring people who are going to bring for you these votes that already left.
So what is happening is this. Maybe one of the things that he might be putting hopes in. Yeah, look what Dan father is telling us. I tell you, he knows that without that, even do you know that even right now, Moses Wetangula, he's enjoying the party leader of Ford Kenya, and he has like a conservatory order in that. Remember when
But
they were
but, but,
fighting?
but is it viable, Brother Benson? Is it viable for him? Is it going to be to continue being viable for him? Because as we continue, things are getting tougher for even Ford Kenya in Western, because Western is its base. It's becoming very difficult, and that's why I was saying he needs to show. You know, Ruto. I told you, brother, one thing with Ruto. Ruto always tells you, nataka unioneshe kile utaniletea kwa meza. And I think this one did not start now. It started even in the time of Uhuru. You remember Mudavadi akiambiwa kona mashetani?
But
That is, it started there. So you need to show what you are bringing in the table. Utakuja uniambia hapana, nitakuletea 200. It's going to ask you, so you are going to still bring me 200 votes again? That one helped me last time. I clinched. But what about this time? I already lost 4 million votes. How will I regain this one? Will I regain with your 200? That's why I'm telling you, it is very difficult for this guy called Moses Weta. And I'm telling you, if he does not
let
fold
me
the party,
let me tell you something. With you will agree with me, and I am seeing Father Danny saying the same. You know, leaders like Wetangula, their main agenda is not even to be in government. This was just like by good luck that they were able to form the government under President William Ruto. But they will always make sure that they use their parties to negotiate for power, either in opposition or not in opposition. Remember, before he joined, he was the minority in the bunge, in the Senate. Remember when I don't know what happened, and he was alitolewa hapo, wakapatiana Malala, ama who did they give that? Yeah.
yeah,
So
he was removed.
when you see all these political parties that are regional, these political parties, their main aim is not to even to clinch power. Their main aim is to see how are they going to benefit from either opposition in the parliament or even appointment. Now, there's something that I was telling you about the issue of deputy president. You know, this position, I think like when Rigathi Gachagua was impeached, brought it to be one of the it's not even lucrative. Yeah, look at now what Professor Kindiki is doing. What can you say that Professor Kindiki is doing apart from empowerment?
No, Brother Benson, it is lucrative, but it's not lucrative when you don't have your own party. It was lucrative for William Ruto because he had his own. You remember before they had joined Jubilee, leave Jubilee time from 2013 to 2017. It was
URP
very
and
lucrative for him because he was having his own party called TNA URP. And it was very lucrative for him. He could bargain deals. He could bargain. I need this amount of ministers. I need these things to be done into my region. It's good when you have your party, but it's not good when you don't have your party. And that's why you see Kindiki looks like a Farawagan. Why? He does not have his own party. And to make matters worse, his base also is not there. So he needs to stay calm.
So that's why I'm telling you, anybody who is going to get this, because remember, even let's say, for instance, that we are looking forward whereby ODM might be, let's say that if that is what is going to take place, that ODM is going to work with UDA. Who is this person that has the command of the people? Because that is what makes you or give you the opportunity to have that position. Who is this? Who has this command, especially for the people? Yeah, so that is why I'm saying that this position, it can only be good, as you said, if you have your own political party. It can only be good maybe if both of you who are working understand what governance is all about. But ever since the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, they've lowered even the impeachment, they've lowered the office, you know, they've lowered the office is lowered in terms of kwa Kiswahili tunasema hadhi ya hiyo ofisi haina hadhi hata kidogo, kwa sababu mkikosana na ukiangalia hiyo ofisi lazima ni ofisi, lazima ichunguzwe. Angalia wakati Rais Uhuru Kenyatta walikuwa na Ruto na Mheshimiwa Ruto, wakakawa na kutofahamu kati yao. Mheshimiwa Ruto amekuja na Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua pia ndio hiyo. Sasa wewe utakuniambia nini? Wale ambao watakuja baada hapo, si bado watakuwa na nini? Watakuwa na shida, yeah. Mzalendo,
Yes.
we uko na maoni gani
kuhusu hii mambo ya nani anaitwa
tukisema hii mambo ofisi mambo ya deputy president office, do you think that in current politics or in current arrangement somebody who is being given deputy president has those powers, or he's just like a name, an office name?
I think that's why the constitution needs to be revised a bit, because when you see the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, his roles are not as defined, and most likely, and they are and they depend on the president giving him tasks to perform. So the deputy president ought to be, first of all, they ought to be given a definitive role, such that if they are in charge of probably the business in the Senate, or when there is a tie in the vote in the Senate, they can cast that tiebreaker in the Senate. But the Constitution does not explicitly give the deputy president a very defined roles, like the presidency, or the speaker, or So I feel that this is a position that is normally abused by the president. Of course, it is a position that is quite underrated, because you serve at the mercy of the president. If he wants to get rid of you, he will assemble his troop, and they will kick you out, just the way Gashaga was kicked out, and just the way William Ruto was frustrated by the president, by the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. So you see, the president is the one who assigns roles to the deputy. So if he doesn't give them any work to do, then now wanakula mshahara ya bure tu, wanakaa pale kwa ofisi. But if they had a role in parliament, if they were in charge of maybe the business in parliament, or the business that is going on in the Senate, then they will have a definite role, and people would see their effectiveness, other than just performing the functions of the president, or other than just being an assistant of the presidency.
So look at just take a typical example of what we are experiencing, and I agree with Danny here that deputy president can only have dignity. The deputy presidency can only have dignity only if it is made difficult to impeach and specific functions is assigned. That is true. So I want to look at what is happening, especially with the president, deputy president, Honorable Kindiki, going out on empowerment. So this empowerment, this is on doings, or these are the office is assigned for that?
just as I told you, the deputy president is an assistant to the president. Yeah, and the only role that is delegated to uh, the DP is to advise the president, but it is the other way around. It is in Kenya. I think the president is the one who advises or delegates duties to the DP. Uh, he has got no executive authority. All
Mhm,
right.
mhm,
He cannot decide to do things on his own. Hmm? The
mhm,
only role that is given, that is in the constitution, is that in the absence of the president, he takes over the country and assumes an acting position. In case of the president is dead, incapacitated in any way,
mhm,
then he can perform the roles of the presidency. Or if the president is not able to perform his duty, then he steps in as as president. All right. So
okay.
although in I think he also sits in the cabinet. Mm, but and participates in other things in the cabinet. Maybe when there is a discussion going on, then his
Mhm,
input can be seen, and maybe coordinating various ministries, which we don't see them doing so much. Most of them you find them in rallies or in empowerment functions, which uh, are not within the constitution. There is nothing called empowerment, just like there is nothing called broad-based government in the constitution of Kenya, but
mhm.
it is shoved down our throats, like to
Okay.
believe that there is something like that. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Mzalendo, thank you so much. And I think it is about that time that we should come to an end to this morning, where we do the recap or meet the press, where we discuss issues or the news that were trending or the news that were making the headlines during the week. It was good to have you on the show together with Msimamo. We had Joseph too. And it is that time that we are coming to an end to this broadcast or to this kipindi. Nataka kuwashukuru wote. Kwa wale ambao wanatutazama, tunawaomba, tunawarai, enda pale kwa Brother Benson Media and Afrique 24 to subscribe, so that when we are having this conversation, the YouTube will notify you so you can join us. And you can also share with us your thoughts on what you think about the political of this. Thank you so much, Father, for staying with us. We really, really appreciate you big time for sharing with us. And if you have something that you want us to talk about, you can also share with us. So if we cannot give it full attention or we cannot give satisfactory answer, we will share it with our panelists who are very able, so they can give us something that is convincing. With all those few remarks, once again, thank you so much for your time. Let me give Mzalendo this opportunity to sign off. Mzalendo.
All right. Thank you once again, Brother Ben, for hosting me on your channel, Brother Ben Media. We run Africa Media, Africa 24. If you are on YouTube, you can check us out on YouTube. You can also visit our webpage, africnews.com, where you can get the latest news that is happening around the world. I want to, first of all, thank our viewers who have been part of this show. You are the ones that make this show quite interesting. Those who have stayed with us until this particular time, asanteni sana for being a part of this wonderful production. But until next time, make sure that you stay focused. If you see anything unusual, make sure that you take action. And if you see mambo ya ufisadi, make sure you talk about it in your own spaces, because we love our country, and that is why we burn this midnight oil trying to find a solution that is best for everybody. One Kenya, one people. Asanteni. Kwaherini.
Karibu sana mzalendo, na Mungu akutangulie na Mungu akubariki. Joseph, uko hapo kakangu? Joseph, uko hapo kaka? Okay. Asante sana. Inakaa Joseph labda ameshikika. Kwa niaba ya watu wote ambao walishiriki katika kipindi hichi, mimi ningependa kuchukua na fursa niseme asanteni sana. Na kwa wale pia ambao walikuwa wanatutazama pia, asante sana. Na wale pia ambao wamechangia katika pale comment section pia, asanteni sana. Kesho pia ama leo itakuwa Jumapili, kwa majaliwa yake Mwenyezi Mungu. Tukipata nafasi tutakuja pia tujadili yaliyomo na yaliyojiri na yale ambao yalipita. Kwa hayo machache, asanteni sana. Mungu awabariki. Tukutane kesho wakati kama huu. Mzalendo na Joseph, asante sana pia. This is Brother Benson Media, and you can also subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. May God bless you.